There are political gatherings, and then there is this. Never before have nearly 150 heads of state and government filled one room. After a year of crises, from right here in Paris to Syria via Crimea, so many foes today united under the banner of climate change. But an agreement in Paris is still a long way off, and the woman charged with securing a deal missed no opportunity to capture the political momentum.
Dear friends, never before has a responsibility so great been in the hands of so few. The world is looking to you. The world is counting on you.
Greeting the procession of leaders took up most of the morning, but just yards away, the climate negotiation circus, set in train by the UN back in 1992, was setting up again for these make-or-break talks. So here we are in the Delegates Hall of the Paris Climate Summit. It's hard to give you a sense of what this place is really like. It's a bit like a shopping mall where nation-states set out their stalls, then tens of thousands of civil servants haggle over how to protect their national interests at the same time as coming up with a global climate agreement. Here's the United States. They've got a lot of political leverage to play with. If you follow me down, there's Mexico. They've raised eyebrows at the summit by coming up with a very ambitious plan for how to grow and cut carbon emissions. And right next door, another massive player, China, who now emits more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere than any nation on Earth. But just across the hall from them, the small island state most vulnerable to the effects of climate change. And around here, you have the delegates' meditation suite and relaxation room, because if the history of climate talks has taught the organisers anything, it's that at the end of 2 weeks of fraught negotiation, it's the delegates' mental health that's the most important thing. It's the first day and already some people are looking exhausted.
And when the meeting was resumed,
still haunting everyone, the memory of the build-up to the tense Danish drama that was the Copenhagen Climate Summit. So much hope was placed in a deal there that the tragic plotline of absolute failure was almost guaranteed. The negotiations fell apart on many fronts, but at heart, a rift over responsibility for climate change between poor, vulnerable countries and the rich who do most of the polluting. Those close to the Paris talks say it's a trap everyone is trying to avoid this time.
You will see in these 2 weeks small countries from the Climate Vulnerability Forum from Africa, Asia and Latin America come here with a very clear vision that everybody has to do something. Whether you're the US or China, India, Brazil or Costa Rica, we all have to do something. So I find that in practice they will carry the moral argument that unless we come to terms with the fact that all divisions will put us into paralysis, we are not going to solve this.
And already positive signs. The most powerful attendees, China and the US, have negotiated joint climate action, and they opened the talks by extending a hand to the poorest.
The United States of America not only recognizes our role in creating this problem, we embrace our responsibility to do something about it.
And focusing negotiators' minds, inescapable scientific realities. 14 of the last 15 years have been the warmest on record. This year, hotter than the rest. There have been droughts in California and the deadliest air pollution China has ever seen. But despite all that, the foundation of these talks are made of hope, not concrete. The draft text of the treaty is already riddled with contradictory positions. Many countries still seeing action on climate change as a handbrake on their economies. With international treaties, the devil is in the detail, and there are thousands of details stalking these halls.